presentations. 4.1 presentation by Valerie Riddell. Did I say that correctly? Okay. With, okay, now that's Satoki? Satoki. Okay, sorry about that. So welcome.
I'm assuming I stand.
Yes.
Perfect. Well, hi guys. Thanks for taking the time to hear me give my short and sweet. Promise I'll keep it short and sweet. So I am the land and utility manager for Satoki Mining. We were a company originated in Oklahoma, but have made our footprint primarily in Texas in the ERCOT marketplace. We operate data centers on a small scale to what we call medium scale. We are by no means a hyperscaler, so we are not Microsoft, unfortunately. But our goal in Alice was to originate a site that could be beneficial to the community, but also not disrupt what the community stands for or your day-to-day abilities to conduct how you see fit. So we have identified, we're in the preliminary stages of a site near the fairgrounds. It's actually directly across from the substation in the fairgrounds. And we would like to energize a site there that would be data and potentially co-locate with AI. So what that system would look like, we do both modular and warehouse systems. So our modular structures look like refined shipping containers. Our website has great pictures of our flagship site. So they are essentially shipping containers in a formation that run off of air cooling, or you can do water cooling, but we tend to lean towards air because water is a scarcity in Texas. We're not trying to claim another resource. And with that, we operate, solely on our own. We don't typically hand off sites to other third-party operators. We own and operate, or we operate. But this site, we'd love to own and operate. The other potential is to do a warehouse structure, where essentially it's a steel frame structure with, imagine, bread box-sized computers operating 24/7 to mine data. We do follow the CP days according to ERCOT, so we will curtail in times of disaster, emergency, or when ERCOT tells us to shut down. The utility that we've spoken with at Lynx is AEP, I'm sure you're all aware. They have done their preliminary studies and conducted what they consider enough of a interconnection study to grant between 75 and 150 megawatts for that location. At this point, our next step would be obviously engaging City Council and letting you guys know this is our desire to facilitate a project at this location. And then once we kind of make our presence known, we do have to go to ERCOT and engage their large load members on what our plan is and what we would like to see energized at that site, since this is a large load. I did share our economic development deck with both Odie and Michael Esparza for you guys to review at length. I don't want to take too much more of your time, but that's just something I wanted to bring before you guys before we got too far into our development process, and we're working not in unison with the city. That's typically not our path forward. So thank you guys for taking the time. If you have questions, I'd love to answer them. If they are strictly engineering, I will have to table those and get back to you with our engineer's response, but love to facilitate any answers I can.
No, we did it as a presentation only, no discussion, so is it okay? I mean, you're looking at me.
Yeah, he makes me nervous.
Would you be available for questions at any time if they called you?
Absolutely, absolutely. My phone number is attached to our ED deck. It syndicates to our development email, but I did share my email. Both Michael and Odie have my email. You're welcome to email, call with any questions. Love to facilitate those answers.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Agenda item number 5, consent agenda. All consent agenda items are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a member of the governing body so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and voted on separately. 5.1, discuss, consider, and act upon approval of City Council minutes for the May 20th, 2025 City Council meeting. Council.
Mayor, make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a first and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, council. Agenda item number 6, individual consideration. 6.1, discuss, consider, and act upon adopting a resolution authorizing the submission of an application to the Texas Department of Transportation Alternative Set-Aside Program in support of the City of Alice Connectivity Accessibility Sidewalk Project and authorizing the city manager to execute all documents pertaining thereto. Hi.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council. Today I bring you the resolution. This is for the project for the Texas Department of Transportation. Back in February of this year, we did a preliminary application for the sidewalk project. The city was also invited back to do a more detailed project. So here we are today, and we have the detailed application, which is due this week, June of this month, 2025, which is with the anticipation of the Commission of Award. So we'll find out whether or not after this detailed application in October, whether we're awarded the funds or not. So this is just to grant city manager to go and for us to submit that application.
Council, any questions or discussion in reference to this agenda item? Mr. Beltran?
This is the connectivity,
Yes, I was just about to ask if I could ask you guys to look at that one. So if Sure, thank you. So these are the streets that already have the sidewalk. So we're looking at the green areas, which is on 5th Street, South Reynolds, and it comes down this way right here. You see that it goes through 3rd Street, 2nd Street, 1st Street, and all the way to Main Street.
how far does it go up on South Reynolds?
It doesn't go up on, it goes south on Reynolds.
Yes.
So it's connecting Texas Boulevard to King Street, Reynolds to Main Street.
And the green, what street is that when it goes
This
across?
is 5th Street, East
Okay,
5th
okay.
Street. Yes, so it'll be over here. It starts right here, and then it kind of goes like right there where Wham's is.
Okay.
And then it'll go all the way down to this area, all the way to North King Street.
Okay. And that's phase 1.
This is phase 1, yes.
Okay.
So just a little bit more information while we're looking at this. So if approved for the phase 1, this will instill 4,634 linear feet
Nice.
in that area. So we're hoping to get those funds. And just to go back, this is a 100% grant with 0% match.
That's great.
1.5 million, or
Roughly, I think it was around 2 million.
2
Yeah,
million.
so just give or take. So if we find out in October whether we're awarded, we'll come back, of course, to look at those and what they're offering us for this project.
We've applied several times for this grant, and last year we came pretty close, but there was some projects that they did over in Corpus Christi area, and one project in Jumelos County that scored a little bit higher. So we're hoping, and we've had meetings with TxDOT also, and so we're hoping that this year we'll get funded on this project.
Good. Much needed.
Yes.
Mr. Molina, any?
No, good. Thank you so much.
Mrs. Bowen?
Thank you.
Mr. Garza?
No, thank you.
No? Thank you, Mr. Lemon.
Thank you, John.
Okay, so if we have no further discussion or questions in reference to this agenda item, I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor, I make a motion to adopt the resolution as stated.
Second.
Okay, we have a first and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. Thank you, council.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Desiree.
Good luck. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
We can get it.
Nice.
Agenda item 6.2, discuss, consider, and act upon accepting and approving a final plat being a preliminary plat of a 2.104 acre tract out of a 7.2367 acre tract of land described as Sutherland's Express, Tract 3, Volume 875, page 508, document number 2004-360043, deed records of Jim Wells County, Texas, said 7.2367 acre tract of land is described in special warranty deed from Walmart Realty Company to Sutherland's Express LLC, recorded in document number 360043, DRJWCT of the official public record, Jim Wells County, Texas.
And Mayor and Council, this is simply a final plat for this area. It went to planning and zoning and was approved, and now it's in front of you guys for approval as well. And we're recommending approving it also. It looks like this is going to be a type of micro hospital, is what they're calling it.
Yeah.
And so we're talking to their engineering department and haven't received plans yet, but those are going to be next once this gets done.
Okay. Council, any questions? Mr. Beltran?
On the location, it would be right there in that empty field where Sutherland's.
Right?
Right.
That's nice.
10 acres or something?
It's been empty for,
Yeah,
It's a portion of it.
portion of it.
Yes.
Looks like a good portion of it, yeah.
2 acres.
2.104 acre
Acre.
tract out of a 7.2367 acre tract.
Right there at the Y.
right.
Yeah.
It's nice, a little more centrally located. That's all. Thank you.
Anything else,
Across the
Mr.
street from
Beltran?
Adventist.
No, it looks great. Thank you.
Mr. Molina,
No.
you were okay. Mrs. Bowen?
No, thank you.
Mr. Garza?
Nope, it's awesome. Let's do it.
Okay, so we have no more discussion or any questions in reference to this agenda item. I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor, I make a motion to approve the final plat being a preliminary plat of a 2.104 acre tract out of a 7.2367 acre tract of land described as Sutherland Express Tract 3, Volume 875, page 508. Document number 2004 360043, deed records of Jim Wells County, Texas. Oh, this is a long one. Said 7.237 acre tract of land is described in the special warranty deed from Walmart Realty Company to Sutherland Express LLC, recorded in document number 360043, deed records Jim Wells County, Texas, of the official public records Jim Wells County, Texas.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a first and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Okay. Motion passes. Thank you, council. We move on to agenda item 6.3, discuss, consider, and act upon adopting a resolution accepting TWDB project 62835 specifically for CID 03 and authorizing city manager to sign any documents necessary by Texas Water Development Board.
And Mayor and Council, this is simply a requirement of Texas Water Development Board on completion of part of the project. So this is, they need a resolution from you guys on the well number 1 pump purchase and installation. And it's part of the process to be able to close that portion out.
Okay. Council, any questions? Mr. Garza?
No, ma'am, not at the moment.
Mrs. Bowen?
No, not at the moment. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Molina?
Good.
Mr. Beltran?
No, I'm good. It's great.
Okay. If there's no further discussion or questions in reference to this agenda item, I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor, I make a motion to adopt a resolution accepting the Texas Water Development Board Project 62835, specifically for CID SID 03, and authorizing city manager to sign any documents necessary by the Texas Water Development Board.
Second.
Okay, we have a first and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. Thank you, council. Moving on to 6.4, discuss, consider, and act upon entering into an interlocal agreement with Jim Wells County for the operation and maintenance of the Alice International Airport and authorizing mayor and city manager, to sign any and all documents.
And Mayor and Council, so the Commissioners Court agreed to pay the expenses at the airport, and we jointly own the airport. And so they needed an interlocal put together. So we put one together, and we're still negotiating that out. So we're looking to get payment for the expenses, but they wanted an interlocal to be able to do that. So that's what you have before you is a sample interlocal. Still want to visit with the county judge and negotiate some items on that. But I just wanted to give you all the sample. That way we could move forward to negotiating that interlocal agreement.
Okay. Council, Mr. Beltran, any questions?
Some of the things that are going to be negotiated, are they timeframes? Are we going back, or is it a fresh start from here moving forward?
We can certainly look at the timeframes too. Yeah, because we've been funding the operating expenses for years.
Right.
What we have been sharing are the RAMP grant and NPE grants, cost sharing on the matching funds. That's been happening. But the operating expenses have solely been on us for several years.
Right.
And we do own it jointly.
Jointly. Okay. Yeah, that would be good if we could negotiate some timeframes and try to get something. But I'm glad we have this interlocal agreement. That's a plus. So, thank you.
Mr. Molina?
About time. Thank you. Good.
Mrs. Bowen?
Yep, long awaited. Thank you, Michael, and John. Appreciate you both.
And the county for coming
And the
forward,
county,
too.
of course.
Mr. Garza?
I'm just curious, is there any financial benefit, just thinking out of the box here, if we were to take over sole ownership of the airport? I mean, we've been running it that long for a while.
Well, I mean, if we're taking over operations and selling fuel, that would be the, and charging the fees and now we are managing the operations of it now. So there'll be fuel sales income and ramp fees and tie-down fees and things like that, hangar rentals. So there'll be some of that out there, but we definitely have quite a bit of expenses. Now, just to remember that, the airport does get $100,000 a year in ramp, 150, and NP funds.
Oh, I'm sorry, 150 in MPE and 110 in
100.
ramp.
Yeah, 110 in ramp, routine airport maintenance program. And then non-primary entitlement funds come from FAA through TxDOT, who manages general aviation airports. And so that's what our airport is. So we don't really deal directly with FAA, only on inspections and things of that sort. But so we do operate on those grants. And NPE funds we can bank over several years to be able to do larger projects. And so yesterday we got a call from a gentleman who's going to do the pavement inspection. So we haven't had a pavement inspection in a while, but the runways are in good condition. But we need regular maintenance to them. So that's how all that gets paid. The other part is pretty much internal, the fuel sales and the ramp fees and anything like that. So that, just that portion of it.
Thank you and John for setting up this contract and finally holding them accountable. So, thank you.
And you said we have control of the airport,
We're running it.
running it. And thank Odie for cleaning it and helping out.
Everybody,
And
Everybody, teamwork.
Mayor was out there helping us move some stuff and clean it up too. It was.
Should have called me, I would have been there too.
Yeah.
You know that. But thank you. Appreciate all your hard work.
Mr. Esparza, you cleaned and moved stuff too. It was hot.
Good team
Should
effort.
have been a 10
But,
effort.
I just have a question in reference to the commencement date. So that won't change anything from prior, like responsibilities and,
What the city manager, and I'm going to speak for you, city manager, what
Sure.
the city manager is considering is, as Councilman Beltran said, about trying to talk about recovering some of the expenses that we've paid over the last several years. speak to the county judge about that, see what the attitude, temperature of the
Sure.
Commissioners Court is in those regards, and that could always be paid as part of, and you see is that what we have here, my discussion with the county attorney would be is that the provision that talks about the amount shall be paid as agreed to by the county judge or the city manager, or as we budgeted. So in other words, so yearly going forward as we have budgeted those, or pay a portion of those expenses as budgeted, or in addition to that, a portion of outlays that the city has made or been made in regards to the airport as agreed to by the city manager and the county judge. And so it would be the city manager's desire to negotiate those issues or those past issues in regards to that paragraph, and whether that's in the way that the agreement is set up is it's got a certain percentage for the county to pay, but at a minimum. And so it could be, okay, well, because this didn't go on for all these years, you all pay a higher percentage. And so that could be, so that's why it says at a minimum, it allows the city manager some leeway and the county judge some leeway to get in there and look at that.
Okay.
And, so, does that answer your question, Mayor?
Yes, that's
Okay.
fine. Okay. If there's no further discussion or questions in reference to this agenda item, I'll entertain a motion.
May I make a recommendation,
Sure.
Mayor, that this is to act upon entering into, and we're not ready to have it finally approved today. What I would request is that you all make a motion allowing the city manager to finally negotiate for council approval an interlocal agreement with Jim Wells County for the operation and maintenance of the Alice International Airport.
As stated.
moved.
Yeah, I'll make a motion as stated. Yeah.
Okay.
Second.
Okay.
Thank you.
We have a
Usual.
first and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Okay, motion passes. Thank you, council. Thank you, Mr. Lemon. Okay, moving on to agenda item 6.5, discuss, consider, and act upon one, establishment, dissolution, division, and/or reorganization of the Alice boards, commissions, and committees, and two, appointments, reappointments, removal, and/or term clarifications of appointments, vacancies, and/or memberships of the City of Alice boards, commissions, and committees.
Good afternoon, Mayor and
Hi.
Council. This agenda item, we're as we work through our operations over in our codes department, one of the areas that we were addressing is the dilapidated structures. And you guys, we've been here multiple times talking to you guys about the situations that we're in. And so one of the really important parts of that process is the Building and Standards Commission. And so we're working through some of those things, and we need to reappoint some of these members and make sure that commission stays active and is able to take action when needed to. So that's what we're asking for, is to update that.
Okay.
And the appointment
And
would
you
be Adrian Pena, Joel Johnson Jr., Rene Munoz, Danny Haygood, and Bruce Hurd.
Okay. Council, any questions? Mr. Beltran?
No.
Mr. Molly?
I have no objections.
Okay. Mrs. Bowen?
Did they each have to fill out a new form?
Yes,
have that on file?
We've communicated with each one of them to make sure that they're able to continue
Yeah,
to serve.
okay.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Yes. They're very passionate, that group is very
Yes.
passionate about
yes,
getting it. So
I know them
yeah,
all.
they're-
They're very good people. Bless their hearts.
Mr. Garza?
It's okay to have one person on multiple boards, correct?
Yes.
Okay, no, we're great.
It's your all's preference how you want to do that. But I will say, in this particular situation, we can't operate the building standards unless we get these appointments today.
We're good.
Okay. Council, if there's no further discussion or questions in reference to this agenda item, I'll entertain a motion.
May I make a motion to approve the, or to
Appointments.
appointments, establishment, dissolution, division, and/or reorganization of Alice boards, commissions, committees, appointments, reappointments, removals, and/or term clarification of appointments, vacancies, and/or memberships of the City of Alice boards and commissions and committees.
Second.
Is that correct? Is that okay?
City of Alice
As-
boards, commissions, and
as-
committees?
I'd say just say as presented.
As presented, that's what I was going to say.
Okay.
There has to be more.
Okay, as presented. And
All right, thank you.
Mr. Molina,
Because he
second.
specifically stated it was for building and standards, and he specifically named the individual.
Right.
So,
Specifically
Good.
building and standards.
Okay, so we do have a first and a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. Thank you so much, and I'm so glad to see.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you.
Patrick.
Okay, Mr. Molina. 6.6, here's status report on May 2025 month-end financial statement, summary of funds, and delivery of May 2025 check registers. Hello.
I apologize. Victor. Thank you. All righty, we're here for the 8th month, 2025. We'll start with Exhibit A. Our general fund revenues are $8,910,174. Our property tax budget was $2,125,081. And year-to-date, we have collected $2,837,349. Exhibit B is our M&O and INS, and thus far, we're at $4,677,182. Going back to Exhibit A, we have our sales tax, which was budgeted at $4,388,000, and we're showing $3,442,246 through March. Exhibit C, we have our sales tax budget versus actual, and this includes the month of April. April's collection was $557,448. Our 2025 budget is $3,839,500, and we have an actual of $3,999,695. Exhibit D, which is actual 2025 versus actual 2024, and you'll see where we're about 112,000 above previous year at this point. Exhibit E, we have our general fund expenditures. Year-to-date, we have expended $9,137,777. You can look at all our departments. We're pretty much keeping it in line. We have a couple of them we're working on overtime, tackling that, but other than that, we're in pretty good shape so far. Exhibit F, our final one, is revenues versus expenditures for all the funds. Our general fund is a negative $227,603. Our solid waste is $841. Utility fund is $310,920, and golf course is positive $67,992. So those are our financials for the month of May thus far.
Okay. Council, any questions in reference to our financials? Mr. Beltran?
Should an Exhibit D for, which we're doing pretty good.
Yes, sir.
Better.
I would like to say, I mean, we're right on budget, basically, we're right there.
Right on budget.
Doing better than last year and
Yeah.
beating budget, so yes.
That's great.
Doing good.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mr.
This is
Molina?
kind of like just a different question, but, you know, we've talked about this for years, you and I. But on Exhibit F, were there just no interfund transfers, or we're just leaving it
This
out?
year, this year, we're letting all the enterprise take care of themselves, so.
Wow.
So that's, that tells two stories. I mean, we're still doing well in each of the enterprise fund, and then we're not hurting on the general fund. So, I mean, it's helping both sides.
Great job.
Yeah, the enterprise funds are, especially like the golf course is a good one.
Golf
that
course,
we like to
yeah.
point to that one.
Yeah.
We're not carrying it in the general fund, and they are still positive.
Awesome.
They're doing a great job.
Thank you so much. Appreciate
It's
you
gonna be,
explaining that too. That's all.
Mrs. Bowen?
No, thank you.
Mr. Garza?
Kind of going back to Exhibit D, I guess how much of that has the county taken from us this year?
Paul, you could do a half
We're on
cent.
half cent?
Half cent,
Half a
so.
cent per million,
Million and a half.
yeah, million and a half. All right, thank you.
Okay. had some questions. I did see a lot of, are you seeing it improve as far as our repairs and to some of our equipment and vehicles? Or-
Vanessa and I tend to not like jinxing it, so.
Okay, I'm not,
But it is, I mean,
don't say
we do,
nothing.
we've seen.
Then
there's
don't
those-
say nothing. I don't want to jinx it.
But no, we do. I mean, we have those that obviously are, we're, month to month, we are paying more, but again, I don't want to, but we're not seeing the big ticket items like we did last year.
Okay.
I mean, landfill for one, we were paying big ticket
Yeah.
repairs last year. So I don't want to say too much.
I
but
know.
No, there are,
Yeah, let's
there
not
are
say.
repairs. I mean, yes, we have an older fleet. We do need to,
Yeah.
we're taking care of them the best we can. We have a good mechanic that's helping us.
Okay. Okay. I had seen the, we had a lot of independent contract labor, but I don't know if that tied into some of the changes that we had and stuff, but I'll look at that later.
Okay.
We had, it's not a big number, it's a small number, but I was just wondering, portable restrooms, we paid for
It could be
those?
either Parks or it could be Joe's Crews. If
Okay.
they're working somewhere, we rent them for Joe's Crews.
Okay.
I would have to see which one
When we're
specifically it was.
out
but-
there, like on
Right.
Hickey or something.
Right.
Okay. Then we had some fences that we paid for. I think that's okay. There's
If
a
you
couple,
know
yeah.
where to find us, we'll answer.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Our next agenda item is executive session in accordance with Texas Government Code Chapter 551, Subchapter D. The city council will now recess into executive session, closed meeting to discuss the following: 7.1, consultation with its attorney, Texas Government Code and subsection 551.071 regarding a legal update on City of Alice versus Hanson Professional Services Incorporated and all. Okay, it is 2:36 p.m. and we will now enter our executive session.